I went from this to this in only 1 year of playing Everdale. Hey guys, Alex here, otherwise known as Clash with Style, and it's my absolute pleasure to announce that Everdale has been out in beta for exactly 1 year on the day that this video gets released, August 23rd, and I could not be any more excited. 1 year of playing this game, 1 year of pushing my content to new levels, reaching out to new communities, finding new friends. It's been an absolute journey, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing my personal journey in Everdale, my content creation journey, and also we're going to look back at some of the previous Everdale updates, and we're going to look at the journey all the way through that Everdale has taken from alpha to beta, and fingers crossed to global, hopefully very soon. So Everdale has been out for 1 full year, and massive credit has to go to the Everdale team. These guys have genuinely done such a fantastic job with this game. It's been a while since I've jumped into a game that I've enjoyed as much as Everdale, and I'm sure you guys in the community can agree that the Everdale team actually has done a really stellar job when it came to progressing through the game and hopefully pushing us towards that global launch. But if you guys didn't already know, if we cast our minds back, there actually was a previous version of Everdale in alpha called Valleys and Villages. This game of course was in alpha. Supercell kind of had it under a cheeky little other company, so people didn't know it was a Supercell game until they took it to beta, and of course when it went to beta, that is when I got involved. Now of course, like I said, I want to talk a little bit about my journey, so let's jump straight into that. You guys can see this is kind of what my village looks like. These are some of the earliest screenshots I have. I didn't tend to take too many screenshots right at the start of the game, but these are kind of the earliest ones I've got. We also of course had my first video. Now my first video, the production quality was pretty rubbish. The tips I had in there were actually pretty helpful tips. Of course the video title was 5 top tips, so you would assume that I actually kind of knew what I was talking about, but at that stage in my Everdale journey, I was really new to the game. I didn't really know that much, so I just kind of winged it. Hopefully I kind of got the tips right, but as we've progressed over the years, I've got more comfortable talking to you guys about Everdale because I feel I understand and I know the game far better than when I did all the way back at the start. So being new into Everdale was a really interesting experience for me because I haven't really played these farming type of games before. I would say Clash of Clans is probably the closest to that, and that's when you go out, get loot and just upgrade your base, but that's more PvP kind of stuff in there. This game is just far more chill, and genuinely I found it really relaxing. When I've got time at home, I just sit back, I can put on this game, I can do maybe some berry, mushroom farming, I can see if I can level up my villagers. There's always just something to do in Everdale, which I find really enjoyable. And of course the sound effects and music, the team have done such an awesome job with those. I always just sit with my headphones in and I just chill out a little bit, and it always just calms me right down. So this is actually my 41st Everdale video, and my content creation journey has certainly been an eventful one. So if you guys didn't know, I have covered multiple different Supercell games. My channel was actually created back in December of 2013 when I started creating Clash of Clans content. At this point, I literally was using my iPod to record another iPod screen, so I was holding it and tapping it, and I mean, I was only 13 years old, so the videos were pretty amateurish. I had a squeaky little voice, and times really have changed. Pushing through the years, I'd moved on to doing some Clash Royale content. That didn't last too long, sadly, because I did after that take a 3-year break. I then jumped back onto the Clash of Clans bandwagon, trying to get my channel up and running again with Clash of Clans content. But sadly, I just wasn't able to build too much of a community in Clash of Clans because there's already so many established content creators out there, and I really struggled with this. I always of course want to produce the highest quality videos, always entertain as much as possible, but when you've hardly got anyone watching your videos, it is quite difficult. So when Everdale first came out, I thought this is definitely a game I could see myself making content on. Once I get a little bit more of a grasp on the game itself, I can definitely start producing some kind of helpful videos for the Everdale community. Of course, at this stage, there were a few other content creators, so I was kind of vibing with them. We were kind of doing videos along the same lines, helping each other with ideas. But sadly now, I'm really the only content creator actually making content on Everdale, which really hurts. I really would love to see more content creators step up and make Everdale videos because I think this game has huge potential to go global. But eventually, when I decided it was time to make that first Everdale video, September 15th was when that first video came out, and it, of course, like I previously said, was that top 5 tips video. That one has done fantastically well. It's got about 15,000 views, which compared to some of my Clash of Clans ones, which were struggling to get even 100 views, that was absolutely mind-blowing. So as soon as that video started to gain some traction and it started to do well, I thought, do you know what? What is the point in me even pursuing Clash of Clans when Everdale, I'm enjoying it far more, I'm gaining a lot more views, people are engaging in my content far more. What's the point in changing it up? So I continued down this Everdale rabbit hole, and here we are today, 41 videos later, and still absolutely loving Everdale. But it's definitely not only my personal journey that I want to talk about. Everdale itself has gone through 3 major updates along its course of 1 year. We've also had multiple maintenance breaks and very small minor updates as well. But we've had 3 major updates, like I said, and that's what I'm going to be touching base on today. So one of the first things I want to talk about is just the art style. If you guys didn't know, the art style for Everdale has changed quite significantly over this year. We've gone from a very vibrant in-your-face feel to a little bit more of a pastel, chill-out color vibes, if that makes sense. I really like the direction that the creative team over at Everdale are taking, and I think now visually the game looks so incredibly appealing. I absolutely love coming on, and I especially like making those village layouts with all of the really nice looking buildings. But of course, if we could potentially get a village edit mode, that might make my life a little bit easier. Wink wink, Everdale. So let's just talk about those changes that we have seen. From the start of the game till now, we have seen quite a lot of changes. So I'm just going to quickly go through some of these so you guys can see what we actually had at the start of the game to what we have now. So one of the first changes that actually came into the game was photo mode. The ability to go through and take pictures of your village. Zoom in, zoom out, change the angle, and get the best possible picture to showcase your awesome village. In that update, we also had multiple new decorations to add into our village. Of course, we added the ability to also interact with these decorations, which was a really nice addition. So when we did use that photo mode, we could have our villagers interacting with some of the brand new decorations. This was also when we got introduced to sending gifts to our valley mates, and I really loved this feature. Everdale is a team building game. You have to have lots of active members in your valley, and now the fact that we had the ability to send a few resources here and there to my valley mates, I really genuinely thought this was a very ingenious idea, and I thank the Everdale team for implementing it. Moving through into update 2, this was a very interesting one where we saw one of the most major changes to Everdale, the reputation system. The Everdale team decided that reputation decay was a feature that they no longer wanted to have in the game. If you guys didn't know, I actually have a previous video talking a little bit about reputation decay when I actually reached that 20,000 mark, but I'll quickly explain it for you guys who maybe have joined the game after. Previously in Everdale, there was this thing called reputation decay. Once you hit 20,000 reputation, you had 5% of that taken off every single day. What this meant was you had to grind really hard to constantly gain reputation to hit those top numbers, unlock new chests, and of course unlock those villager levels so you can level them up in the guilds. This was very difficult to climb up to those higher numbers because the higher you went, the more reputation got taken off of you daily. This though was a feature the community absolutely did not vibe with. We did not like this, and the Everdale team realized that pretty quickly, and big credit to them, they listened to the community and they've removed this feature and they added this brand new thing at the end of the reputation road called the Everchest. The Everchest is of course now a permanent part of the game. You're going to be able to get this at the end of Reputation Road. Once you get up to 58,000 reputation, every 5,000 reputation after that you gain, you are going to be able to get an Everchest. Now the Everchest I personally feel could be doing with a little bit of a buff. Right now, some of the rewards you get from it just feel a little bit lackluster, a little bit disappointing. I personally would like to feel like I'm getting significantly rewarded for getting that 5,000 extra reputation, but right now it just feels like, I might as well just get the resources, but it's not really going to have that much of an impact. We also saw some new resources, items, and buildings in this update, but I'm not going to go into too much detail on them. You guys, I'm sure, can just go ahead and check out some of my previous videos where you're going to be able to find out all of those. In this update, they also added trade relations with ships, which I personally feel was a huge step in the right direction of taking this game closer towards global. Basically what it is you work hard with these ships, they're going going to give you more rewards the harder you work with them. This is the trade relations system in a nutshell. Nice and simple, but it's going to allow you to work hard and gain more rewards because of it. Pushing forward into update 3, this is where we saw the introduction of cocoa into the game alongside the prairie plains where you're going to be able to get that cocoa from. Of course, alongside this, we had multiple new buildings, both in the village and in the valley. These new buildings allowed us to craft a whole lot of new resources and items, which is absolutely awesome. Again, I'm not going to go into specifics on each one of these buildings and resources, but if you guys would like to, you can scroll through some of my videos where you're going to be able to find out all of the information on those previous updates. Update 3 also had the introduction of animal handling. In my personal opinion, one of the most important skills in the game. However, I still don't think animal handling is quite balanced, but that can be a whole other ballpark to talk about, so we're not going to get into that too much. But of course, if you guys would like some more information on animal handling in specific, I have an ultimate guide out on that so you guys can learn all about it and the best methods of gaining XP. The Everdale team also added multiple new events into the game. Now, these events are one of the main things that keeps me coming back to the game, being really active, because I always want to help out in my valley to make sure we complete these events as quickly as possible. Some of the limited time events we have previously had that sadly I don't think will come back to the game were the Rainbow event and the Mariner event. Both of these events gave us access to some really nice decorations, all of which I currently have in my village and on showcase for you guys to see. We also, of course, had the global events, which include the Gobblefish event and the Great Feast event. These global events are going to repeat every so often. We actually, as of time of recording this video, have a Gobblefish event going on at the moment, which I think is a really nice addition to the game. Once again, it's going to give us lots of nice boosts and always trying to keep the valley active. So the next year for me is going to be a very interesting one. If you guys didn't already know, I actually have a baby due any day now, which certainly is going to change my life, and I absolutely cannot wait to have this little bundle of joy in my arms. Is this going to stop my Everdale videos? Well, hopefully not. I really do plan on trying to maintain my one video per week schedule that I've currently got going for Everdale. I know you guys in the community tend to enjoy my videos, and I absolutely love making them for you. So my little promise is that I'm going to absolutely try my best to maintain some sort of schedule, and maybe you guys might see my baby feature in a video here or there. But that does bring me to the end of this video. What a journey it's been, and I really cannot thank all of you guys for supporting me throughout this year. If you could, leave a like on the video, that would be great. Also, leave a comment down below which one of my videos was the first video you ever watched. While you're down there, subscribe as well for lots more Everdale content just like this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, whenever that's gonna be. Peace.